What's happening, guys? This is Butcher. In this episode I'm going to talk about how to counter Pudge, and it's simpler than most people make out of it. So the biggest thing is to counter pick with a hero. So focus on your mid hero and pick heroes like Storm Spirit, TA, Ember Spirit, Shadow Fiend's not really a counter. It depends on how you play it. Meepo, Axe, very tanky heroes like maybe even Earth Spirit counter Pudge, but at the end of the day, it comes down to how will you dodge hooks in lane and throughout the game. So in lane, it's important to stand, like always have a creep in between you and Pudge. And when you don't see him, like you have to anticipate where he's at, and you always have to be kind of thinking in the back of your head where he's gonna be. So, I mean, it basically comes down to experience. Once you played against Pudge a couple times in pubs, you're gonna know like what are the spots where to stand, where he can hook you or where he can not hook you. Easier way to make that is to put a ward here or here, and if you're on the dire, put it here or here. Just basically go uphill, and then it's really hard for the Pudge to hook you. Like, I mean, if you're decent, your reflexes are okay, you should not, like, the Pudge should either get very lucky or really outplay you to hook you in that scenario. Another scenario is when he just comes up to you and starts rotting you and then maybe point blank hooks you, and that's also kind of experience. But what you want to do is kind of get in the middle of the creeps and let him tank most of the damage from your own creeps because he initiated the combat. So he's going to take a lot of damage from the creeps, and if you have a decent hero, I don't know, like anything but a Shadow Fiend early game, then you can kind of outplay him and he can't really come up to you. Like if you're a TA, Pudge is like a counter, right? Because he takes off the refraction with the rot, but the TA has so much more damage, and if the TA just sticks within the creeps and the Pudge does not land a point blank hook on her, the TA easily kills the Pudge. And the thing is, once the Pudge gets close, he's gonna lose like 200 HP just to get close to a hero, especially if you're a ranged hero like an Invoker. You're gonna like attack him a bunch of times and then you can out harass the Pudge out of the lane. So maybe focus at the beginning of the early game stages, try to get the Pudge low on HP. Like if he has full HP, he can come up and rot you and maybe kill you, but if he's losing like 200 or 300 HP, then maybe you can kill him pretty easily, so you can't be too aggressive. So you have to zone him out of the lane, so sacrifice maybe 2 or 3 last hits at the beginning and harass the Pudge a little bit more, force him to use a salve and then harass him a little bit more, and then he's going to stay out of the lane. But if he's full HP and you're letting him get last hits without harassing him and you're ranged, you're doing something wrong. Another easy way mid-game is to have wards on the rune spots and always call missing in action, because Pudge is going to gank no matter what. So you need to be ready for that, and you need to have a decent team that's going to expect him to gank. And the best scenario is the Pudge rotates the gank, and you kill him. Like you intersect him in the jungle and you just kill him straight up. That's the easiest way. And once you die a couple times as Pudge, you're not really that effective in the game. Like Pudge is very skill dependent and actually pretty item dependent in early game stages. Like having a bracer and an urn compared to not having a bracer, urn, or boots is game breaking for Pudge. So if you don't let him get a good start, and if he doesn't get him any last hits in the lane, he's a pretty weak hero. And another thing, if he does kill you in lane, then you need your teammates to gank him. So if you have like a Vengeful Spirit, Earthshaker, or some support hero like a Lion or whatever, like call them to rotate. And what they could do, they could, even if the Pudge sees them rotate, they could stand like here, and they can make sure that the Pudge doesn't go on you, right? So that's without taking the experience. So you always need to keep pressure on the Pudge. And if the opponent ganks for the Pudge, like if their supports gank him, then you really need to just be really passive. And they're already wasting a lot of time, and they may be taking some of the Pudge's XP while they gank. So just don't die when they gank. Map awareness is huge. And throughout the game, just kind of read him, like kind of expect where he's going to hook. Like it's pretty obvious when most of the Pudges play, it's pretty obvious when they're going to hook, so just dodge the hook, there's nothing to it. The really good Pudge players, they will use smoke, wards, things like that, and buy early game items. Then it kind of depends on your support heroes, and the last strategy is to 5-man. After 10 minutes or so, just get your team as 5 people, and push the tower. The Pudge is not gonna do much because he's gonna hook he's gonna hook one of your allies, right? And then the 4 of you are gonna go and kill the Pudge. And if the Pudge, especially at the early game, trades his life for a support hero or just one hero in general, that's not the carry, then it's not worth it for him because he is losing out a lot more than he's gaining. Especially if you have heroes like Mirana, Twin-Headed Dragon, or Earthshaker with the long-range stuns, that really is a pain in the ass. That's about it. Yeah, just 5-man and be aware of the map and put wards, and that's about it. Yeah. There's a reason. I mean, Pudge is the most played hero in Dota because, I mean, it's the most fun, but there's a lot of bad Pudges out there, and you can counter them very easily. If you're stopped early game, then they're just going to feed. And there's a reason that if you play ranked and you pick a Pudge, people are going to start flaming you because most of the time Pudges don't do that well because the people know how to play against them. And this is what I've been noticing lately is people play against Pudge a lot better than they used to. Like, they know how to 5-man, and that's why throws are happening more and more and more because the losing team just 5-mans and the winning team just throws by being too confident or just I don't know, sieging and taking really bad fights. Hope this episode was helpful. Thanks for watching, guys.